Frisco just spent over $80 million rebuilding its historic downtown, but most people living here, I think, still have really no idea what is about to become of this area. And I want to walk you through the whole thing, what was here before, what just got built, and what it actually means for the real estate around the area. All right, so going back, Frisco got its name from a train that doesn't even run anymore, and that's exactly why what's happening right now is kind of a big deal. I mean, the city was originally called Emerson, but when they applied for a post office in early 1900s, the name got rejected. So Frisco City came from the St. Louis San Francisco Railway, which was the Frisco line, which ran right through the area. And over time, it just got shortened to Frisco, but that connection never really went away, and the rail depot is still there today as part of the Frisco Heritage Center, where you can walk through the preserved buildings and see the steam locomotive up close. But some of the buildings along Main Street still go back to the early 1900s, and you got some classic brick storefronts, some of the original bones of the railroad town, and that's a real thing. It hasn't been recreated into something else. But everything being built around it right now is meant to kind of respect that history without getting stuck in it in a way. And so when we get into what developers are actually doing here, the part that's going to kind of catch most people off guard is what they're choosing not to build. And for most of the 2000s, 2010s, this place was growing so fast it didn't really have time to focus on historic downtown. I mean, the city went from a small farming community to one of the most talked about suburbs in the country, now with over 245,000 people, and it's still growing. And of course, during all of that, the original core of the city just fell behind. I mean, the streets felt pretty dated. I mean, parking was tough. There wasn't a real place for people to hang out. It had kind of like a little small town charm, but it didn't feel like a place where, people wanted to really visit or hang out. I mean, you had one lane each way on Main Street, not much walkability. There just wasn't much to it. Now, in 2018, the city approved a downtown master plan with the goal in mind, which was to turn this into a real destination. I mean, it took a few years to get it moving, but what you're seeing right now is that plan really starting to show up. So I want to break down exactly where that multi-million-dollar investment is going. But first of all, real quick, if you own property near the rail district, or you've been watching this area and trying to figure out if now is the right time to sell, possibly, I can give you a clear read on where things are going right now. My name's Levi, by the way, and the team and I do this every single day. We'd be happy to help you kind of work that out. You can actually scan a QR code if you want to understand what your home value is probably sitting at right now. And then, of course, we can answer any questions after that. But right now, if you walk down Main Street, still a lot of construction going on, but it should feel a little bit different, especially from just a year or two ago. And that's even before the Plaza opened. So the city split the project really into four main sections, each one kind of trying to solve a specific problem. And when you see how they all come together, the investment starts to make more sense. But if you look at Main Street, I mean, construction started in July of 2024, and the street reopened with two-way traffic. Now they have wider sidewalks and a little center median. But they have barricades there, so just more visual. But now you actually have wider sidewalks. I mean, the kind where you can walk side by side with each other and hold a cup of coffee at the same time. You know, they've got some benches. They planted a bunch of shade trees. They've got decorative brick pavers all over the place. You'll notice kind of rail-themed designed details throughout it, and then just trying to bring back some of that history. And then underneath, I mean, they replaced a lot of aging infrastructure. I mean, they put in new water lines, updated drainage, underground utilities, and most people don't even notice that stuff, but that's what had to happen. Now, the last piece was a new pedestrian signal at 4th Street, so that is still getting completed, but you can safely cross from the Plaza now. But then you got Elm Street, and that's one that a lot of people tend to overlook, mostly because that was completed first, but it was rebuilt and reopened in late 2023 with two-way traffic and on-street parking, and it kind of connects the plaza back to Main Street. So that's done. It works, and it kind of sets everything else up. And then there's the 4th Street Plaza, and this is the part that I think everyone's kind of waiting on. It's expected to open this summer, and this is what kind of ties the whole district together. So you're going to have a performance stage, a large lawn that can hold a few thousand people, and a signature shade structure running across that space. So they're going to have some fire pits, seating areas, vendor spots, a pedestrian path connecting Elm Street to Main Street. And this whole design came from Mesa Design Group out of Dallas, and I think it's very well done. I mean, the long curved ribbon that shapes the space follows the path of the original railroad and reflects the different communities that kind of make up Frisco today. But as far as materials, you've got the brick, steel, reclaimed timber, very industrial, but I think, very cool. And it looks like the city officials are trying to call this Frisco's future front porch. So when this opens, it's kind of built for everything, from like casual food truck night to some large events and live performances that could hold, a few thousand people. And that's the type of place that can turn, a simple walk into a real reason to come downtown. And so I do want to save the real estate side for later, especially the Klyde Warren Park comparison, because that changes how you should be thinking about this market right now. But back to the construction, the parking garage is the last piece of the project, and yeah, I know it doesn't sound exciting, but it does matter because surface parking has been scattered and inconsistent for years now, and the construction has made it, basically impossible to kind of navigate the area. But the 5-story garage adds over 450 spots in one place, right at the center of everything, with a completion this spring. So, and it's going to be wrapped in brick and metal with a grid and arch design that kind of fits the rail district. And the ground floor is set up for retail, so it should stay actively walkable and add some more spots. But parking has been one of the biggest limits, on downtown Frisco for years. So that is about to change. And there's this other part of the story that didn't really make it into the press releases, but I think you should understand it. Now, if you've been down to the rail district over the past couple of years, you already know that trying to stay open during that construction wasn't easy for anyone running a business down there. Local business owners were very vocal about it, and I think rightfully so. About what it did to their foot traffic. Less visibility from the street, parking, pretty much non-existent. Customers are going somewhere else entirely. Some longtime businesses even said they came closer to losing everything than they did during, 2020. But at least the city acknowledged that. Mayor Cheney spoke about the pressure at a city meeting in fall of 2025, and the Frisco Community Development Corporation put up $500,000 towards keeping the rail district businesses alive. So that was kind of split into this gift card program and some advertising grants to help the businesses stay visible while the streets were completely in shambles. The gift card program ran in phases. Over 170,000 redeemed in the first round. And then last November, a buy one, get one digital program launched. So giving residents double value on cards that were spent downtown. So it connects directly to the timing window for buyers that I do want to walk through at the end of the video. So stay with me for that. But on top of that, the city committed $4.5 million to the Rail District Reinvestment Grant Program, and that's spread across multiple years to help businesses upgrade their facades, some patios and interiors. Individual projects can qualify for up to $300,000 in matching funds. So the program expanded in July of 2025 to include more properties. And the message, I think, from the city was pretty simple. It's like, if you invest in your building, they'll invest alongside with you, which is, pretty cool. And then Mayor Cheney said that, he wanted everyone to get through it and then thrive. So we'll see if that happens. And the businesses that made it through more than a year of construction are now going to be surrounded by $80 million in public investment. And so that's a very different position than they were in just 18 months ago. And the private development that followed shows the market will see that too. Now, public investment at this scale works pretty good usually, and the private market started showing up in the Rail District before the concrete was even dry, you could say. I mean, you got Cap Multifamily, a boutique real estate company that intentionally avoids building large apartment complexes. They opened a Beacon on Elm Street in August of 2025, but it was the first residential apartment community, in the downtown area. It only has 18 units, but that's by designs. But they've got a fitness studio, a co-working space, a community lounge, and original artwork from local artists, throughout. And that includes a guided art tour at the grand opening that was led by the Visual Arts Guild of Frisco. So it's a pretty cool building. But they've got 3 more buildings on the way. They've got the platform coming, they've got the gallery and the view. And the gallery will include an actual gallery space for local creatives. And every building is going to be designed with commercial or creative space at the street level. But beyond Cap, 2 mixed-use buildings with artist and gallery space have already been approved. And so another project near 4th and Pecan are going to follow. And now these aren't the large-scale developments you see everywhere else in Frisco. They're built to kind of fit the neighborhood, but the city also has very specific architectural design standards in place to make sure new development kind of respects the historic character of the area. And then there's a piece that really kind of stands out, which is the Frisco Chamber of Commerce. They bought office space on Main Street in January, and they're moving into a larger location by July. But their new space is going to include a podcast studio, a meeting space, and a new business accelerator launching in the second half of the year. So that could be interesting. The chamber has been in the area for over 50 years, and they had every reason to leave during the construction, but they chose to stick around and expand instead. But also real quick, one thing I do want to clarify, because this does come up a lot. The Rail District is the historic downtown that we've been talking about. And that is really completely separate from the Railhead, which is a $3 billion development planned alongside the Dallas North Tollway. And so 2 completely different projects, but both definitely worth watching. But yeah, it can get confusing sometimes. But when you hear Rail District, we're talking about the original downtown area, the part of the city with the original history. And of course, with all that in place, the real question becomes what this actually means for the market and why the window to act is a little bit tighter than most people realize. So most of the growth in this part of Dallas has really come from master plan communities. Brand new, well-built, clean, but for the most part, they all feel pretty similar. I think downtown Frisco is offering something that is hard to replicate, right? Real character, real history, and a walkable area. It's been here for 100 years, but now finally getting the notice it deserves. But property around this area is already pretty expensive, and that's before all of this starts to really open up and before the garages kind of fill up and the place turns into a real destination. So this is more than just kind of resetting pricing. This project is going to reinforce it. And the comparison that keeps coming to mind, of course, is Klyde Warren Park. And when Dallas, built that park, it pushed development and real estate values across every block around it. So the Rail District is, I think, Frisco's, smaller version of that. And the public investment is already in, the private development is following. And then the Plaza, the piece that kind of ties everything together is going to open up this summer. And the timing on top of all of these line up pretty well. And that's, of course, because the 2026 FIFA World Cup is coming to the area this summer, with AT&T Stadium in Arlington hosting more matches than any other venue in the tournament. And Frisco has been confirmed as the official base camp for Sweden's national team. So they'll train at Toyota Stadium and stay nearby. But the Dallas-Fort Worth area is expected to bring in over 4 million visitors this summer for that. So for a downtown that was basically, a pass-through, just a couple of years ago, this is a big moment. You're going to have a lot of people coming through, and the city officials really have one goal, and that's to have the Rail District finish before all that World Cup traffic shows up. But Main Street is mostly open and walkable, still some dust and construction going on, but the plaza and the garage are on track for this summer. And, right in the middle of the district, you got Soccer City, one of the top specialty soccer retailers in the country, and they're set up for what's coming. But, as far as buyers and investors, the window is probably right now. I think the perception discount from construction is still a little open right now, but once the plaza opens and everything starts to come into place, I think downtown Frisco becomes a regular weekend destination, and I think the pricing is going to follow that. So on the other side of that, if you're thinking about selling around here, you might want to hold on just a little bit, maybe until after the summer. That's something that we can discuss. That's why I recommend reach out. All of our contact information is below or on the screen. Again, you can scan a QR code to get a free home evaluation, kind of see where you sit on your home value right now. And just think about what's happened. I mean, 80 million has been put into or invested into historic Frisco downtown. And, you know, by the time everyone realizes what that is going to turn into, the easier entry points will probably be gone by that time. But if you own near the rail district, or you've been watching this area and want really, again, a clear read on where the market stands right now before everything opens up, reach out. Happy to walk you through that. And then also I've linked the video right here on the traffic that the World Cup is going to drive this summer. That's going to make a big impact on the Dallas-Fort Worth area. So you should check that out so you're prepared for what's coming. And until next time, hopefully we'll get to show you around town.